if I'm a basketball player and I want to play pro ball in Europe, how do I do it?
Well, there's a couple of things you got to take into consideration. Number one, you have to be seen. And to be seen, you've got to go to some type of exposure camp. Now, the trick is making sure who's at the exposure camp. Are there going to be scouts from Europe? Are there going to be agents? Are there going to be coaches? That's the big deal. The big deal is to make sure that there are actually scouts at the camp that can actually help you get a job. After that, you want to, number one, be in shape. You have to be in shape. I can't say that enough. Number two, Coach Boeheim did something, said something to us my first year as a freshman. He said, you should not be able to play more than 4 minutes at a time. Because if you can play more than 4 minutes at a time, you're not playing the game the way I want you to play it. That should be your mentality coming in to do these workouts. So those are, the important things are, have agents, scouts at the workout. You want decision makers, people that can, if they like you, they can give you a job. Number two, reputable people. Find someone like myself that knows information about Europe, why I played there 16 years. People on our staff, my other partners, they've been there 12, 14, 16 years. So you want to have people around that you can say, hey, how do I get there? And when you ask them questions, they don't have to go to a book. They don't have to ask anybody. They just walk right out and they can tell you from their own personal experience. To be able to play in Europe, it is so important to be in the right place at the right time. For instance, there's an example. I took a team over to Europe to play, and there was a young man on that team. He played for Hofstra University, and no one had ever heard about him previously. He went out to the workouts, and during the game, he actually scored 10, 15 points. And shortly after he scored 10 or 15 points, by halftime, he had 15 rebounds. Someone that was in the gym came over to me, a friend of mine, and said, hey, who's this guy? And he eventually ended up signing $80,000 a year to be a practice player. At the end of that year, the player in front of him got hurt, and he played 7 games in the playoffs. And last year, he signed a contract for 6 figures. So it's being in the right place at the right time. Can you find a job being here in the States? It's possible, but it's very difficult if nobody knows who you are. So my recommendation is if you have a chance to go over and play in Europe at some point, make a team, go over there, play, don't hold anything back. There's no use to wait. Give everything you got and play like you're only going to play for 4 minutes. And then when you go out, recuperate and come back in and give them everything you got. Understand the culture. You have to understand the culture for one simple reason. You should not go into a foreign country wearing your headsets, wearing your earphones out in public. Understand that you have to be known as, you want to be marketable. When you go out, you want to be seen as friendly, open. So try not to use your headphones. One other thing that we do as Americans, a lot of the guys are wearing, they don't shower in the gym. They go home. If you don't shower in the gym, your team is going to think you think you're too good to shower with them, and then all of a sudden you're going to create a rift that shouldn't even happen, but it's all because the cultures are different. So understand the culture, prepare yourself, go over, be open, friendly, make yourself marketable. Gentlemen, you have to be prepared. I can't tell you how many times players have come in, they didn't have their passports, they didn't have their bios ready, they didn't have game tape ready. When a coach asks you information about yourself and he's interested in you, you should be able to hand him a DVD, a bio, picture, and you should have your passport ready. Because should they tell you, I like you, are you ready to go? They're going to give you about 24 hours to get your gear in order and to leave the country. So be ready.